Here we go. Let's get it. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report live here on Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, we appreciate the faithful for making today's show a part of your day. I understand that Super Bowl loss was a kick in the balls for all Niner fans out there, but NFL Combine was last week. Free agency starts on Monday. NFL draft at the end of April. Not only is this a pivotal offseason for San Francisco, but it's an exciting one for the Niners as well, and we have you covered every step of the way. And as part of that, there's plenty to discuss on today's live 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Producer Smitty on the ones and twos. I'm Chase Sr., and the faithful hanging out all across the globe. Could the Niners really trade Deebo Samuel? We're going to talk about that. I put together my first 7-round Niners mock draft. We're going to hit all of the positions of need for San Francisco on this roster. And since the tampering period for free agency begins on Monday, I have my perfect free agency plan. And I've seen a lot of real ones who are in the chat right now who have sent in $10 super chats all throughout the month of February. Well, that got you a raffle ticket for a Niners jersey. And during our live show here today, we're going to announce our jersey winner. We have 151 people watching live right now, 29 likes as you come in here. Thanks, by the way, for hitting that bell icon, turning on those notifications. That just allows you to stay on top of all things Niners because we cover all things Niners. Please make sure you hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. It is a free way to support the show and goes a long way in supporting everything that we do. Niner Gang, where you at? Where are you watching from? We're coming to you live, emanating live from the Chat Sports studios here, but where are you? Let me know in the chat, and we'll start to give you some shout-outs here. Blazing to Glory, Gump Wolf, Mike Concho. I was jotting down all of your names here today because all three of you got those $10 super chats in to potentially win our Niners jersey. Honcho's in Brentwood, California. I also asked you yesterday to scale the show on your level of recommendation to another person and what it would be. Honcho only gave us a 7.5. I've seen a lot of you give us 10s. Some of you gave us 1s. That's fine too. We can always get better. We're not content with reaching 5 million people over the last month, but Honcho, I appreciate the honesty. Frank the Tech is in Washington State. I'm your Papi Chulo, Marina, California. Luis Rodriguez in New Hampshire. Reno, Nevada from Levi. Honcho's laughing. Mike Herrig, Yuma, Arizona. Fred Diggity in Wilmington, California. Borderland, El Paso. That's a fitting name right there. Continue to let us know where you're hanging out. Terry Reese is in OKC. Now, I started off the show with what we're going to discuss first once we get everything popping, and that's a Deebo Samuel trade. And why would the Niners entertain a Deebo Samuel trade? Well, he's been disappointing since signing that 3-year contract going into the 2022 season. 3-year, $71 million deal, and that came after his 2021 All-Pro season. And a lot of buzz coming out of the Combine that the Niners might be willing to part ways with Deebo Samuel. The real question here, San Francisco is looking at Brandon Aiyuk as the better wide receiver and the fact that he's due for a contract extension. Can San Francisco afford 2 wide receivers combining to make, let's say, somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 million? It's a lot of money for 2 wide receivers. More shout-outs here. Bill Phillips. Deebo is Kyle's pet. He's not trading him. That's pretty funny. Spartan Gaming here at Bellflower. Big Hurt is in Richmond, Virginia. Jose Luis tuned in from Arizona. Brother Man 68. You're 1 away from 69. Watching from the Big Apple. Here's our Super Chat menu for today. Let's have some fun. Did go live last week because me and the Chat Sports crew, we distributed about 500 videos across the company last week from the NFL Scouting Combine. So we didn't go live, but we gave you about 2 shows on average per day. All Super Chats will get a shout out. $10 will get you submitted for a New Jersey raffle for the entire month of March. $20 will do 20 push-ups. $50, we'll put your name on our Niners helmet. And if we get a $100 super chat, the man to my right is producer Smitty. He is a diehard Seahawks fan. He's going to drink in some way, shape, or form if somebody sends in a $100 super chat.
Listen, I'm game. I will. You know what? If you send in a $100 super chat, I'm taking out a beer shotgun.
Beer shotgun. For a $100 super chat, let's just get the Seahawks fan trashed because that city is already trashed to begin with. So that's our super chat menu right there. Other ways to support the show. Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video, subscribe, comment, but also share the video on your social media pages. That helps us out right now to get some more eyeballs here on the stream, but also people will see that after the fact, and then they're like, wow, that ugly guy, Chase Sr., who hosts the 49ers Report, he might be ugly, but he's pretty damn good. So that's our super chat menu if you want to support the program even further. I don't know about producer Smitty, but I know about me. I want to know about you. Who's ready to talk some Niners here? If you're ready to talk some SAN-FRAN-CISCO, I want you to type me in the chat. My guy, words of wisdom. We are exchanging texts over the weekend. Great linking up with him in Las Vegas. Super Bowl week. It was awesome. Fred Diggity with the $10 super chat. That's our first one. We'll pop that up on the screen. Reed Barkus, he's campaigning to be a producer here at Chat Sports. He said, let's go, Chase. What's up, Reed? John Wallace, he's ready to go. Hutcho with the $10 super chat. But how about this one from Fred Diggity? He is a first-time super chatter. Thank you, Fred Diggity, for that one. And Mike Concho is not a first-time super chatter. He's been with us as an OG for a long time. He chimes in with the $10 super chat. So those are $10 super chats toward another jersey raffle at the end of the month. By the way, our February jersey raffle, we're going to announce the winner at some point today. And you will have 24 hours to get back to me and send me an email if you're not watching to claim your jersey. If you don't, then we're going to spin the wheel again on Thursday during our live show and try to find another winner. That's how we're going to do it. Hit that thumbs up icon, like the video if you're ready to go. We have 200 people watching live, 54 likes right now. We're going to start off talking about Deebo Samuel. That is segment number 1. But please, everybody tuned in right now, make sure you just tickle that thumbs up icon, like the video. Here's everything that we have coming up. Could the Niners really trade Deebo Samuel? I put together my 7-round Niners mock draft. Perfect free agency plan, and we'll announce our winner. Oh! Gump Wolf, a $50 super chat. And now,
my guy,
a man who's been supporting the program for a really long time, goes on our Niner helmet.
Oh, that is dope.
We're going to put a G-dub on the gold sticker here. And congratulations to Gump Wolf. Thank you for supporting the show. A GW going on a gold sticker, and that's going on the Niner helmet.
Hell yeah.
Blazing to glory. A $20 super chat.
Let's ride.
And that's going to be 20 push-ups from me.
Oh, my God.
I want both of them jerseys. All right, so you're in for February already because we put you on the wheel. And Blazing the Glory, we didn't just put you on the wheel once. You sent in multiple $10 super chats, so we put you on there several times. And now you're in the running for our March jersey as well. So is Words of Wisdom. That gets us to $100 before the show starts. Here he is, Mark Chase, going to be in Las Vegas for that knee surgery in May. We spoke about your running streak has been my inspiration, bro. Want to get down to my profile picture weight. Anyway, bang, bang, Niner gang. Yeah, so the running streak hit 300 days on Saturday. Got back from Indianapolis from the Combine. I went for the run at like 11 p.m. I wasn't going to stop at 299, and my previous running streak was at 300 days. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get right, get healthy, and then I'm going to set out. To beat that previous PR, I'm able to do that, and we're going to get it to a year and hopefully keep it moving because my boy J.J. Rudisil back in the Philadelphia area, I think he's run every day for like 2 years straight. Not even kidding. So that's been really impressive for him. Words of wisdom. That is a ticket for our March jersey. You're also, of course, in the running for the February jersey. And those Super Chats do include, by the way, the Super Chats that came in during the Super Bowl. So if you send in a Super Chat during the Super Bowl, $10 or more, I calculated all of those as well. All right, we're already to $100 in Super Chats. I owe Blazing to Glory 20 push-ups. We will do that here in just a little while after segment number 1. And to start things off, we're going to talk some Deebo Samuel here. So producer Smitty, if you're ready to rock, I'm ready to go. They will not go on that wheel. That is a separate wheel. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so those will go to our end of March wheel. So we're going to talk Deebo to kick things off. Continue to hit that thumbs up icon. Like the video. 200 people watching live. Can we get to 100 likes here? We're at 72 right now. Christopher Vigil, a $20 super chat. That's 40 push-ups for your boy here. Chase, big fan. Thank you for your dedication. Bang, bang, Niner gang. Cabrones. Puerto Rico in the house. That's very cool. I'm actually going to knock out the 20 push-ups right now, so I'll count them out. All
right.
1, 2,
These are real.
3,
These are legit.
4, 5, 6,
Yeah, I got you
7,
guys.
8, 9, 10,
See if I can throw
11,
this up.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19,
Oh, yeah.
20.
Let's go.
All right, there's 20
See,
right
that
there.
was real. That was no joke.
Hey, the people know. The people know that we don't mess around here. The people know.
Nice.
All right,
All
so
right.
if you're just joining us, $20, 20 push-ups. And we're going to start things off talking about Deebo. Could he actually get traded? I'm excited to have this in-depth conversation here that's going to be thought-provoking. As Words of Wisdom knows, the real ones like to have thought-provoking conversations. So we'll start off on that front. Producer Smitty producing his first 49ers Report live.
Let's ride.
So everybody type Smitty in the chat before we get started here.
I feel very welcome. As much as a Seahawks fan can be, I feel very welcome here on the show.
There we go. Type it Smitty in the chat. There we go. Type Smitty in the chat. All right, 49ers Report live begins right now. Going into the 2024 NFL offseason, could the San Francisco 49ers trade Deebo Samuel? We're talking about that on today's San Francisco 49ers Report. I'm Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, we appreciate you for making today's show a part of your day. So many content options out there. That's why every time you come and hang out with us, we're very appreciative. First, though, before we begin, the offseason really gets underway on Monday. That's kind of when the new league year begins. That's the free agency tampering period. And every single move that the Niners make, with a lot of cap space that they now have at their disposal, we're going to break it down here on the show. So make sure you lock us in, hit that subscribe button as we approach 132,000 subscribers. Now, today's show is also sponsored by Manscaped. Join the 10 million men worldwide who have put their trust in the best men's grooming products, 20% off and free shipping, manscaped.com/49ers, and use the code 49ers20. So with this Deebo Samuel conversation here, he's really been disappointing since signing a 3-year, $71 million contract after the 2021 season, in which he was magical en route to being a first-team All-Pro. And I was just in Indianapolis this past week at the NFL Scouting Combine, and there was some combine buzz that maybe the Niners might be willing to part ways with Deebo as they enter a territory where they're a little bit cash-strapped, and they're going to have to make some difficult financial and roster decisions moving forward. What this comes down to is a real question that I guarantee you the Niners are having right now inside the walls at the facility in Santa Clara. Brandon Aiyuk is due for a contract extension. Because the salary cap is increasing And because he was a second-team All-Pro, his market could explode. We've already seen Mike Evans sign a 2-year deal worth $25 million per. Michael Pittman got franchise tagged by Indianapolis. He's going to come in at a rate of $21 million for 2024. Brandon Aiyuk is better than Michael Pittman. Mike Evans is a little bit older. So Aiyuk could demand about $25 million average annual value. And Deebo's making about $24 million. So can you pay two wideouts? Let's call it in the neighborhood of $50 million. As for the financial specifics and the components of Deebo's deal, as well as a trade or a cut, if he's cut post-June 1, the Niners absorb an $11.3 million dead cap charge. They save $17.2 million. If Deebo is traded after June 1, the Niners only inherit a $6.5 million dead cap charge, but then they save $22 million. So if a trade were to happen financially, it would make a lot of sense if it's after that June 1 designation. And the 2024 wide receiver draft class is absolutely loaded. And one of my takeaways from yesterday's show, in which we talked about the draft, was while in Indianapolis, the Niners were poking around. They were meeting formally with a lot of wide receivers, some of them who they might have to trade up for in the draft. Xavier Worthy, a Troy Franklin, a Brian Thomas. Now, some of those wide receivers could fall, and there are still going to be really, really good wide receivers available in the second round as well. But if you're looking for a Deebo replacement or an Aiyuk replacement, I don't think the latter happens, the time to find one of those replacements for a cost-controlled asset that's an impact player would come in what is a deep and vast 2024 wide receiver class. Now, what the Niners could decide to do here, extend Brandon Aiyuk at about $25 million per year. They bring back Juwan Jennings, who's a restricted free agent. You draft a wide receiver in the first or second round, and then you trade away Deebo Samuel, which helps you free up money right now, but also in the future. And would you like this wide receiver room for San Francisco in 2024, where Brandon Aiyuk continues to be your wide receiver one, diverse route tree, vertical threat. He can run the crossers and the underneath and the out routes. He can do it all. And then you have the burner in Xavier Worthy, who set the record for the fastest 40-yard dash in the history of the combine with the blazing 4.21. And then Juwan Jennings is also a part of this conversation as well. If you bring him back, and he's your slot wide receiver, the guy who you'll continue to go to on the money downs, third down, fourth down, who's always incredibly clutch and gives you a little bit of size at that wide receiver spot. Now, I'm just throwing Xavier Worthy out there as an example, but he did meet formally with the Niners in Indianapolis. He was very complimentary of Kyle Shanahan and his offense, as well as Brandon Aiyuk and Deebo Samuel. And he said that Kyle Shanahan's been in the building a lot because Shanahan played at Texas and has a relationship with head coach Steve Sarkisian. And Shanahan probably looks at this production like, wow, as a freshman, he had 12 touchdowns and almost 1,000 yards. Sophomore campaign dips a little bit. And then this past year, 75 grabs, more than 1,000 yards, and 5 touchdowns as he continued to be one of the more electrifying players in the college football ranks. And he can impact the game on special teams. And guess what? Ray McCloud is going to be a free agent. Now, you look at Worthy's RAS score. This is a relative athletic score where these athletes at the combine and these prospects are judged on a scale of 1 to 10. And anything in green is elite. And when you have Xavier Worthy coming in at 9.37, that means that this guy is physically gifted. Now, the red are concerns for me. It's a lack of size. He's only 5'11", and he's 165 pounds. That's about the same size as Deshaun Jackson, who Xavier Worthy said was his idol growing up. And they have similar games, although I think Worthy has an opportunity to be a little bit more well-rounded. But you look at the vertical, the broad, it's an explosive athlete right there, and then the 40-yard dash, a record-setting time. And had an opportunity to speak with Xavier Worthy from the NFL Scouting Combine. And he talked about Kyle Shanahan, his offense, him going to the Texas facility, as well as playing alongside potentially Deebo Samuel and Brandon Aiyuk.
Like just Kyle Shanahan, he's a mastermind with the plays. He's kind of been in the Texas facility a lot, so him and Sark are really good friends. So I feel like me going in that offense will be kind of a good situation. Right, I feel like all of them kind of play with like an attitude, play like they have something to prove, and I feel like I kind of fit in that also. I feel like just me playing how I play and just me bringing the speed element, I feel like it'll fit right.
Set the wide receiver room a little bit. Let's say they trade away Deebo, which then leads them to drafting Xavier Worthy. Who would you rather have on this football team for 2024? Is it X type XW? Is it Deebo type DS? I want to hear from all of you right now down in the comment section because, as always, we appreciate your feedback right here on the show. As I mentioned off the top, today's 49ers Report is sponsored by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/49ers. Let's talk about the Lawnmower 5.0. We're talking about Deebo Samuel as a player who can literally do it all. Take some handoffs, go deep, run some crossers, bubble screens, jet sweeps. He's a multifaceted weapon. Well, the multifaceted weapon that I have in my bathroom is the Lawnmower 5.0. Interchangeable blades, a battery life that lasts an eternity, safeguard technology so you don't have to worry about getting cut up below the waist because you don't want to have any scary accidents in the bedroom. You just want to have pleasure when you're getting down with your significant other. And this is just a great product so that you can take care of yourself. Of course, if you change the blade heads as well, you can use the Lawnmower 5.0 on your chest, on your beard, on your back, really wherever you have hair. And for St. Patty's Day, they have some terrific deals. And St. Patty's Day is coming up. So you see that link at the bottom of your screen. It's manscaped.com/49ers. And then you see the promo code 49ers20. Use that link as well as that promo code. You get 20% off and free shipping on the best men's grooming products. Think about this. More than 10 million men worldwide have put their trust in Manscaped. And I love their products. I use them all the time. They become a staple in my hygiene as well as me just taking care of myself. Because you know the motto, look good, feel good, just like the Niners do in those scarlet, red, and gold uniforms. So we're going to put that link down below in the comment section as well as in the description of this video. It's manscaped.com/49ers, promo code 49ers20. Some more thoughts on a Deebo Samuel trade. Why trade him, right? It's, of course, a debatable conversation and one that'll have a lot of people fired up in the comments section. The Niners' record with him is far better than without him. But this would also be a long-term play here. And you think to the Super Bowl. Did Deebo Samuel get exposed a little bit? And you think to when he struggled. Deebo has struggled to beat man coverage. That happened in the Super Bowl. Niners tried to force feed him. I wouldn't say he's great at tracking the deep ball. Xavier Worthy is. In fact, that's his specialty. And uncharacteristically, Deebo Samuel dropped a couple of footballs that could have been critical plays for the Niners in the Super Bowl. It was one bad game. He's not a bad player. As I've always said, he is incredibly unique, and he's one of one. But you think about Worthy and his inclusion on this Niners offense, he serves as a man coverage beater. You can't always play zone against a guy like Brandon Aiyuk who can shake you out of your cleats at the line of scrimmage. And then Worthy, who just will jet past you. If you have to go man-on-man against Aiyuk and Worthy, I like the Niners' chances of beating them. In a realistic world, and in a great world, I should say, you would have all three of them on this Niners team. But that contract extension is a little bit prohibitive for the Niners salary cap as we move ahead. And Deebo, he's already been injured throughout his career, started really in year 2. And you think about his playing style. He runs with brute force and physicality. He will run you over, run through you. That's why he's so fun to watch. But how does he age with this playing style in which he's always trying to layer the boom, and his game is predicated on picking up yards after the catch and after contact? I still think the Niners can contend this year while also freeing up money for the future if they do trade Deebo Samuel away. A lot of people say, well, learning curve for Xavier Worthy or another rookie for the purpose of this conversation. There's no doubt that that's a real thing, but you still have a loaded team, and you didn't win the Super Bowl with Deebo, so can you win it without him? I still think this Niners team top to bottom one of the most talented, if not the most talented, overall team in the National Football League. And the key component here, you free up some of that financial capital in the future because you have a Brandon Aiyuk contract extension looming. You have a Brock Purdy contract extension on the horizon too if he continues to play really good football. I know a lot of fans like Talanoa Hufanga. He's entering the final year of his deal as well. He might be due for a contract extension. So too could Aaron Banks. It's an ever-evolving world when it comes down to contracts and money in the National Football League, and sometimes you have to make difficult decisions. And we round out with some of those difficult decisions. Remember the Mike Silver piece that we talked about last week that he put together in the San Francisco Chronicle? He's one of the more tapped-in reporters to the Niners. He's known Kyle Shanahan since he was a teenager. He covered John Lynch as a player, and he's a Bay Area guy. He's covered this team for a really, really long time. He said the Niners could be facing some difficult decisions moving forward with some key veterans. And what's key about this, the Niners have to look ahead at some of the players who might be good right now, but might be starting to show some signs of decline. And it's always great. It's always better in business. It's always better in football, in sports, to get out of that contract early as compared to late, because if you're paying damaged goods a lot of money, that holds you back as an organization. So put your general manager hat on. What should the Niners do with Deebo Samuel? T for trade, K for keep. Sound off with what you think. Oh! Shane Edgecombe, San-Fran-CISCO! That's a $100 super chat coming in for the legend right there. And of course, we are going to give him a gold sticker on our Niners helmet here, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way.
It is sick.
And we told you at the start of the show, if we got a $100 super chat, we were going to make the Seahawks fan drink.
All right.
So producer Smitty
I'll go grab a beverage.
is going to have to go shotgun a beer, and he's going to do that right here on the show because we got the $100 super chat. He's a man of his word. He might be a fraudulent Seahawks fan, but he's not a fraud in general. So he's going to do that shotgun for Shane Edgecombe. Hopefully I pronounced it right one of the 3 times. Shane, thank you for that. As a part of our recent commenter club, let's give a shout out to some of our loyal viewers here. Ernesto Ojeda, Words of Wisdom, Reg Smith, Mr. Laidback. We have Shane in there, Jacob, Christopher Vigil. He also sent in some super chats today. Words of Wisdom said, Shane, great minds think alike. Because Shane said Bill Walsh always cuts guys a year early rather than a year late. And that's a great lesson to know and understand and utilize when you're running a business, when you're running a football team. Logan, we won't get a deep cap hit if we trade Deebo. Yeah, I went through some of those financials a little bit earlier. I can run through those again as Smitty goes and gets his drink. If he's traded post-June 1, $6.5 million dead cap charge, the Niners would save $22 million. So you kind of do the math there. That's about $15 million or so that you save. T-Blaze, see you in the chat as well. Words of Wisdom with the 5. Open invitation to Las Vegas for our birthday, September 7th and the 12th. Circa first round on us for the first 5 peeps. Help me celebrate my 50th. I'm old. You're not old. Age just a number. And we'll see if we can make it there. Words that might overlap with the opening weekend of the NFL calendar. Could be a problem. I'll FaceTime you, though. How about that? If I can't make it. Or I'll call you at least. All Super Chats get a shout out. $10. You enter our Niners jersey raffle for the month of March. We're going to announce our February winner today. $20 is 20 push-ups. $50 or more, you sign our Niners helmet. So already, Gumpwolf and Shane going on the helmet here. And if somebody else sends in a $100 super chat, producer Smitty, Seahawks fan, he's going to drink again. Here he is right now doing the first shotgun. I also owe, I think, 20 more push-ups, so we'll do that too. All right. How can the Seahawks fan do here? Shout out to the faithful. Smitty! That's pretty elite. That's a good time right there. Faster than Xavier Worthy's 40-yard dash. Yes. It was definitely faster than the 4.2. Henry, can we move up with that trade? I doubt if the other team's going to take on that Deebo Samuel contract, if you also move up, it would really be a trade to free up some money and maybe get like a second or third round pick. Deebo himself was drafted in the second round. So that's what I'd think there. Mr. Laid Back, let's get Smitty wasted. David Corona, what up, Chase? How you doing today? I'm doing awesome, David Corona. You want to announce our jersey winner now? Yeah, we can spin the wheel now. And then we can see if the winner responds. And if they don't, we can spin it again a little bit later or on Thursday's show. All right, let's see who won our Niners jersey for the month of February. Smitty, whenever you're ready, spin that wheel. Everybody who sent in a $10 or more super chat throughout the entire month of February, you were in the running here. And it lands on Gump Wolf. He gets the custom jersey. All right, Gump Wolf, we're going to reach out to you. Oh! Nick Dolfer, $100 super chat. Seahawks drink more, 49ers for life. We need an offensive tackle and then a defensive back after that. Nick, that's awesome, man. Smitty is going to get another drink. He's going to do, I don't know, maybe another, what are you going to do? Another beer bong? All right, Smitty's going to do a beer bong. Shane said, hell yeah, bro, drink up. Nick, can you please send me an email, chase@chatsports.com? Because you've sent in multiple $100 super chats February into March. So we're going to send you our customized 49ers Report MVP football because you were the MVP for February. So Nick Dolfer, chase@chatsports.com, or you can reach out to me on X, formerly known as Twitter, @Chase_Senior, or on Instagram, @Chase_Senior. Words of wisdom, can we do a duck race during the offseason? For sure. Yeah, we'll be going live for free agency, and that'll be a great time to be able to do that. So, Gump Wolf, you get our jersey for the month of February. Nick, that $100 super chat, and all super chats today, $10 or more, go toward our March jersey raffle. And then Nick Dolfer, reach out to me, email, X, or on Instagram, @Chase_Senior. All right, if we get another $100 super chat, I'll shotgun this time. So Smitty is about to do his second. So I'll help him out, and I'll do a shotgun if we get another $100 super chat. Yep. Smitty, 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 Smitty. It's the Mirbanga. It's pretty damn good. Taking it down.
Bang, bang, Niner game!
Let's go. Saints man, blazing to glory. Both sending in a $10 super chat. That'll get you in the running for our jersey raffle for March. And we'll, of course, pop those up on the screen here in just a moment. Blazing to glory 1. Send in a super sticker. Saints man also sent in a $10 super chat. Bang, bang! All right, let's get to our second segment here. I do owe 20 push-ups. I have not forgotten. So we will do those here. We did our Deebo Samuel trade segment. Segment number 2, Niners mock draft. We announced our jersey winner, Gump Wolf, who won our 49ers Report football from the Super Bowl. We sent that to him, and now he gets his jersey. Blazing to glory. I got beef with this Wolf guy. What Wolf guy? Blazing to glory. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. You can just cancel that out. Yeah, all good. Blazing to glory. Who's the wolf guy? Oh, Gumpwolf. He said he took my jersey. Well, Gumpwolf's a legend, man. You're a legend, too. So we don't have beef with other loyal viewers. We all come together, faithful family here on the 49ers Report. But yes, Gumpwolf got the jersey, but maybe in March, Blazing to glory, you get the jersey then. Mr. Laid Back, if I send in $100, Smitty needs to drink with a straw. Do we have straws here at Chat Sports? Deal. And I'll shotgun with Smitty. We'll both drink. He'll drink out of his straw. I'll drink as well. Mr. Laid Back. And then Blazing to Glory again. Said, I got beef with this Gumpwolf guy. All jokes. We know. We know. Even Gumpwolf knows. He gave us an LOL. All right, so mock draft coming up next. Let's see here.
Respect to all the faithful out there who welcome me with open arms and trying to get me drunk on a Tuesday. I appreciate
It's going
you guys.
up on a Tuesday. All right, Niners mock draft.
Let's do it.
All 7 rounds, all 11 picks coming up right now on the San Francisco 49ers Report Live. So let's get it. Coming up on today's San Francisco 49ers Report, the NFL Scouting Combine is in the rear view. We're also looking ahead to NFL free agency, of course, here on the channel, but also NFL Draft coming your way at the end of April in Detroit. So it's a perfect time to do our full 7-round mock draft, and I'm going to be in the shoes of John Lynch. I'm making all of the right decisions. I'm going to be the general manager and make these selections. First, our mock draft is sponsored by 8 Sleep. Get $200 off their Pod 3 cover at 8sleep.com/chatsports. Use that link. You also get free shipping as well. A better sleep for a better you. Start the new year off right with 8 Sleep. We'll tell you more about them coming up here in just a bit. Let's lay the foundation by taking a look at all of the Niners draft picks as of right now in the 2024 NFL Draft. Finally, for the first time since the Niners took Trey Lance, they have a first-round pick, number 31 overall. They're back on the clock in round 2 at number 63. They have a couple of third-round picks, their own at 94 overall, and then a compensatory pick as they continue to master the compensatory pick formula at 99. Round 4, pick number 125. That's the pick in the Trey Lance trade that the Niners got back. That's coming from the Dallas Cowboys. And then 6 more to get to. Round 4, number 132. Round 5, another compensatory pick, 176. Round 6, 214, another compensatory pick. Yet another compensatory pick in round 6, 216 overall. And then a couple of round 7 selections. Number 234 via Denver and number 253. That's the Niners' own selection. So in totality there, 11 draft picks for the San Francisco 49ers in the 2024 NFL Draft. Niners first on the clock, back end of the first round, second to last pick on night 1, which is going to be a Thursday. And we know that this Niners team needs to address offensive line. And I think with this selection, Kingsley Suamataia, they're able to get their future right tackle who can also pop inside and play guard if the Niners need him to do that. He played in an offense with BYU that liked to run the football a lot. And they ran it downhill, smash mouth physical attack, and that's the bread and butter of what Kyle Shanahan likes to do. And when you think about positional versatility, Suamataia has it. More than 1,300 snaps were split between left tackle, almost 49% of his snaps there, and right tackle, 51.2% of his snaps. So not only can he play tackle, can he play guard, but he can play both tackle spots Right now, he can play right tackle. And then in the future, whenever the GOAT Trent Williams decides to hang it up, Aiyuk can then pop over to the more important position in protecting, hopefully, Brock Purdy's blind side and play left tackle. Last year for BYU, gave up 2 sacks, 6 hits, and 7 hurries in 2023. His athletic measurables, pretty good. A 9.35 on a scale of 10 for the relative athletic score here. He's 6'4", 326. Plenty big enough. He repped 31 reps of 225 on the bench press. That's excellent. His vertical leap, 28 inches. Not bad for a guy that size. His broad jump, very good. That can measure short area quickness. And for a man that size, to run a 5.04 40-yard dash means that he's going to get out in space like Trent Williams. He's going to make blocks at that second and third level. He's very agile and very, very athletic. The Niners did meet formally with Aiyuk at the NFL Scouting Combine. So they were at least able to gauge what type of person he is, what type of player he is, and if they want to move forward. Obviously, not every formal meeting results in a draft selection, but it's of note nonetheless. I would not be shocked if the Niners go wide receiver round 1, especially if they want to keep Xavier Worthy from going to the Chiefs at 32. That would probably signal that the Niners plan to move on from one of the wide receivers on their roster. But I think they go offensive line with 31, knowing this is a very deep wide receiver class, and you can find a really special player in Xavier Legette, wide receiver out of South Carolina, at 63 overall. Deebo Samuel also went to South Carolina. He said that Legette reminds him a lot of himself, and you can see why. Because Xavier Legette, he checked in at 6'1", 221 pounds. And at 221 pounds, he ran a 4.47 40-yard dash. His relative athletic score on a scale of 10, 9.66. So a really good vertical leap, good broad jump, good weight, excellent weight, in fact, with the way that he moves. And he can do some similar things to Deebo Samuel with his ability to break tackles in the open field and turn garbage into gold. Look at his numbers from this past year with Spencer Rattler throwing him the football. Totaled 71 grabs, more than 1,200 yards, almost 18 yards per catch, and 7 touchdowns. The Niners also met with Xavier Legette formally at the NFL Scouting Combine. And this could just give the Niners flexibility at wide receiver moving forward. If you want to run it back with the same wide receiver room that you had last year and still draft Legette because, in your eyes, he's the best player available, that's cool. Then maybe in the future, you move on from maybe a Deebo Samuel, and then Legette can take the reins from there. 94 overall in the third round. I'm going with an extremely, superbly athletic center in Tanner Bortolini out of Wisconsin. He ran one of the fastest 40-yard dashes that you'll see from an offensive lineman at the NFL Scouting Combine. Bortolini can play guard, he can play center, and has really good technique. He has shorter arms, but you can get away with that when you play that center spot. He's really fluid, though, on the move as a pulling center and has played in basically every run-blocking scheme from high school throughout college. And when I talk about that 40-yard dash, 303 pounds. He ran a 4.94 40-yard dash. Can you imagine 303 pounds coming at you running that fast? Kyle Shanahan would love that, and I think that he would be an upgrade and just has more pedigree as compared to a player like Jake Brendel. Now, if you've been enjoying our NFL draft coverage, we did a lot of it from the Scouting Combine. We've done some of it this week. I want you to hit that thumbs up icon, like the video. The grind never stops here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. The grind to improve yourself never stops either. And that's why you have to get involved and check out 8Sleep. 8sleep.com/chatsports to see what I'm talking about. And specifically, their Pod 3 cover. You get $200 off using that link. But with the pod cover, it's a sleep to power a whole new you. It's going to improve your sleep. How, Chase? Well, I'll tell you. By automatically adjusting your bed's temperature based on your individual needs, the cover can be added to any bed like a fitted sheet and allows you and your partner to cool or warm your side of the bed as low as 55 degrees and up to 110 degrees. As part of my health regimen and routine, I cold plunge every morning. I sauna every night. I'm a cooler sleeper. So I like to sleep colder. So I would like going down to 55 degrees. But if you like to sleep warmer or you want to get a little sweat in, you can do that up to 110 degrees. You'll be sweating bullets. eatsleep.com/chatsports. There's no better way to improve your day-to-day life better than sleep. I know a lot of you have been like, Chase, look at your eyes. You need sleep. I'm working on it. The easiest way to do that is with Eat Sleep's Pod 3 cover. So start the new year right. Invest in the rest that you deserve with the Eat Sleep Pod. We're going to put all of this information down below in the comment section and in the description of this video. Everything powered with your smartphone here. And the device can go right to your bed. eatsleep.com/chatsports. Now to pick number 98. This is one of my favorite players in this draft class, and he is a draft crush for me. You honestly might have to move up, but in our NFL draft simulator, Max Melton, cornerback out of Rutgers, did fall to San Francisco here at 98 overall. Pro Football Focus grade in 2023 is 73.1, a passer rating allowed of 65.7, 3 interceptions, 6 pass breakups, really long arms, really physical, and he ran fast at the combine in Indy. And I had an opportunity to talk with him. He grew up as a Niner fan. He's met with the Niners 5 or 6 times from the end of the season through the combine. He is just an absolute dog. And his measurables are really intriguing for me. I think this is a player who can play in the slot right away, but then he can play on the outside at some point. He's a little bit shorter at 5'11", 187 pounds, so he's pretty stocky. But a relative athletic score of 9.65, vertical jump is awesome. You need that as a corner. Broad jump is good. Short area quickness, important as a corner because you need to be able to stop and go on a dime. His 40-yard dash for checking in at 187 pounds, he's a compact athlete, a 4.38 40-yard dash. That's exceptional right there. And he has the ability to turn around and address the football. This could be one of the building blocks on your team, and the Niners look for personalities with a player like this. And then to 125 overall as we continue to progress in our mock draft. I think sneakily the Niners are very interested in drafting a tight end in this draft class who could be a really good complement to George Kittle. And I think Jared Wiley out of TCU would be that player. Braden Willis, Cam Latu, I don't think they're the answer. Braden Willis might be able to help you on special teams, but they're just not the smooth route runner and the pass catcher of Jared Wiley, who honestly kind of reminds me in that regard of a NorCal guy in Zach Ertz, who came out of Stanford. 47 catches for the Horned Frogs last year, 520 yards, 8 touchdowns, yards per catch at 11.1. I really like how he just moves on the football field. He's a very graceful athlete, even though he's a really big athlete. And I'm looking at some of these players with the relative athletic scores. Testing isn't everything, but testing is important. And Jared Wiley turned a lot of heads with the 40-yard dash that he was able to clock. 4th round, 132. We know that the Niners really like linebackers. Junior Colson is a good one from the defending champion, Michigan Wolverines. 5th round, 176. Gabe Hall, Baylor defensive tackle. He's 6'6", 295 pounds. With Chris Kosarek helping to develop him, I just like the body that he can grow into. 6th round, 214 overall. Let's go back to the well. Another interior offensive lineman, Jacob Monk out of Duke. His teammate Graham Barton, I think, would be a tremendous fit for the Niners at 31. That's also an option. 6th round. Family business, baby. Let's go Frank Gore Jr. I actually do think that the Niners need to draft a running back in the 2024 draft. Hopefully it's not in the 3rd round, like Ty Davis-Price and Trey Sermon the last couple of years. Frank Gore Jr., I like the way he moves. I like his toughness. I like his vision. And sometimes we get so enamored with the physical traits of a running back. Sometimes vision is the most important. Frank Gore Jr. did not run a 40-yard dash in Indianapolis. For his pro day, I am curious to see what he runs. 7th round. How about a developmental quarterback? Joe Milton can throw a football 80 yards. I'm not even kidding. He has so many physical traits, but sometimes you don't know where he's throwing it. Sometimes he can't hit the side of a barn, and he throws a lot of picks. But with Kyle Shanahan, a good quarterback developer, I'll take a shot on a guy like Milton. And then lastly, in the 7th round, Braden McGregor, Michigan defensive end, doesn't have crazy physical traits, but he's tough as nails and will beat you with a pure power move. He was so good for Jim Harbaugh in Michigan. He's met with the Niners this offseason. That could be an option in the 7th round as well, at a position that the Niners like to stack up on. So grade my first 7-round mock draft for the Niners here. A, B, C, D, or F. Be honest with me. Give me your feedback. Which players would you have drafted instead of me? And just let me know. All right, more super chats coming in. Sainsman, he said the March jersey is mine. I love everybody who's trying to get the jersey. Nick Dolfer, I like Chase's mock where he got them in the 1st round and the 3rd. It's crazy to me that we didn't get anyone last year. No offensive lineman last year. How does it happen? Shane B, Nick B+, Mr. Laid Back C, Jalen C, Wet Noodle B+, Michael C-, Donald B+, Fred Diggity B. What did I do wrong? Let me know. Jamie McConkey, talking Lad McConkey, 439 technical crisp route runner. Yeah, I'm not saying this because they're both slot wide receivers, but Cooper Kupp type of footwork and route running. Luke Skywalker McCaffrey from Joji, that's a 4th or 5th round pick I'd really, really like. All right, we take another look at our Super Chat menu. All Super Chats get a shout out. $10 enters you into the March jersey raffle. We just announced our winner for the month of February. Congratulations, Gump Wolf. $20 is 20 push-ups. $50, you can sign our Niners helmet. And then $100, the Seahawks fan drinks. If we get another $100 Super Chat, he has to sip a drink through a straw per Mr. Laidback. And I'm going to shotgun a beer as well. And we also have to add somebody else. Nick Dolfer is going to go on the Niner helmet because he sent in a $100 Super Chat. So he gets a gold sticker. And let's see, did we get Shane? Yes, we did. Shane Edgecombe. He's on there as well. Blazing to glory. Another one. Nah, that jersey is mine, sir. People are going back and forth. It's a fierce competition. My boy Black Mask. It's been a little while. Like the mock draft, bro. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. Let's move to segment number 3, bro. First, I got to do 20 more push-ups. So I'm going to do those right now with the 20 that came in a little bit earlier. We're going to close the handstands a little bit here.
I'm going to show you guys a full proof here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
See, those hands are in tight,
11,
too.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I mean, those elbows were at right angles. I mean, what a guy.
90 degrees. Nick Dolfer, $24 Super Chat. You do those push-ups. I ran 5 miles this morning. My man. I did 3 miles this morning. My running streak, let's see. 303. 303 straight days. My boy Nick. I'll do those 20 push-ups for you after our final segment. Perfect free agency plan for San Francisco is what we're getting into next.
Let's do it.
Rick Nyer's in the building. Wow. Couple OGs are here.
Gotta stay hydrated here on the 49ers Report.
Yes, sir. All right. Segment number 3 coming up. $100 Super Chat. Me and Smitty drink. We'll do that after this segment if you get it in. Let's go. NFL free agency begins on Monday with the tampering period, and then deals become official on Wednesday. So next week is going to be a really busy week on the San Francisco 49ers Report. And as part of the free agency period here, I put together my perfect free agency plan for the San Francisco 49ers to allow them to not just get to the Super Bowl in New Orleans next February, but to win the damn thing and complete that quest for 6. Free agency plan. Step number 1, got to fortify the offensive line. The good thing going into the offseason for San Francisco is this. It's a pretty solid free agency class for offensive linemen, and it's a pretty solid draft class if you need interior offensive linemen, but also tackles. And there are a lot of top offensive lineman free agents that I want to run through here. And all are different varieties and prototypes. Some of them scheme fits better than others. Mike Onwenu, he plays guard, plays tackle for the New England Patriots. Last year played mostly left tackle. He played very well. I think he's better as a guard. That's where I think he could become a star. Robert Hunt, Miami Dolphins. He can play guard or offensive tackle, a former second-round pick who played very well in an injury-shortened season under Mike McDaniel last year. Mike McDaniel obviously leads to a scheme fit. Graham Glasgow, he's in his early 30s, a little bit older, but has long been a very solid and formidable offensive guard. Played well this past year, in my opinion, for the Detroit Lions. Tyron Smith, just a great left tackle for a really long time. I think he's going to go to a team like Kansas City that could use him at right tackle. He's going to look for a little bit of a bag. Dallas not willing to pay him. A little bit of an injury history, and he's getting a little bit older. Niner fans know Trent Brown. He actually started his career with San Francisco, became a Pro Bowl level player with the Raiders, and was a trusted piece by Bill Belichick. You put him at right tackle. That's a massive upgrade, as are a lot of these offensive tackles on this list, over Colton McKivitz. If you want to take a chance on a player like Mekhi Becton, he was drafted in the first round out of Louisville a few years ago, and he was drafted based on his physical traits. He's had some really special and quality moments in the NFL, but they've been overshadowed by a lot of dubious moments. He's still a young player who has potential. If the Niners think they can get him right, that could be an option. Jonah Williams asked for a trade about a year ago. That was not granted once the Bengals signed Orlando Brown. I think his best days are behind him, and frankly, I don't think he's very good. The Chiefs might decide to sign a player like Tyron Smith if they move on from Donovan Smith. Jermaine Oluminor has played guard and tackle. We spent a couple of minutes with him on Super Bowl Radio Row. I like the positional versatility, but I'm not sure how drastically better he is as compared to McKivitz. And then George Fant, a solid swing tackle who I think is better as a backup, who you can depend on if your starting tackle gets benched or your starting tackle gets injured. That's a player that I wouldn't hate for depth. I would not like him as a starter. Really, two of my favorite players are Mike Onwenu and Robert Hunt. Mike Onwenu moves really well for his size. He can get out in space on those pull blocks. He packs a punch. Overall Pro Football Focus grade this past year of 71.5. Only gave up 3 sacks, 2 hits, 18 hurries, and 4 penalties. I think he's rounding into his own. What's of note, the Patriots never really committed to him as a tackle. That's why I think he's probably better as a guard. And then Robert Hunt. His PFF numbers were actually better than Onwenu, but he only played 10 games. Overall grade of 77.1, only gave up 1 sack, 1 hit, 3 hurries, and 2 penalties. When you play in a system like Mike McDaniel's, you have to get out on the run. Mekhi Becton, this would fulfill tackle here. It would be a risk. Maybe the Niners sign him to a short-term deal, hoping that they can get him right. But the numbers last year, not good at all. Overall Pro Football Focus grade, 53.2. He gave up 12 sacks, 8 hits, 30 hurries, and 18 penalties. For whatever reason, now he did play for the New York Jets. They are a dumpster fire of an organization. He just wasn't able to find any consistency. But he's 24 years old. He's 6'7", 360 pounds. He was drafted 11th overall in the 2020 draft out of Louisville. So he's certainly an interesting option there. And San Francisco looking ahead. They have multiple viable options. This is also a really good offensive line class in the NFL draft, as I noted a little bit earlier. So if you want to go draft instead of free agency, you can do that. If you want to go with a little bit of a hybrid approach and you want to bring in some offensive linemen in free agency as well as in the NFL draft, you can go that route. Either way, San Francisco has to take prioritizing the offensive line a lot more serious. I'll tell you this, Free agency is going to get underway on Monday, and we are going to have you covered right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report, the largest independently run Niners channel that covers this team every day. Hit that sub button if you haven't already done so. Step number 2, sign a perfect fit at edge rusher opposite of Nick Bosa, and you bring in a player who's not going to break the bank, who's still young, who I still think can improve because I think he has untapped potential. That's Bryce Huff of the New York Jets. He's only 25 years old. The physical body, it's a good one. 6'3", 255 pounds. I like his story too. He's had to earn everything that he's gotten. Undrafted free agent out of Memphis in 2020, and the scheme familiarity is there because he played under Robert Saleh with the New York Jets. His Pro Football Focus numbers, very, very good. It's rare to find a player with a pass rush grade this high of 86.8. So he's looked at as a little bit of an analytical darling. The Niners have taken chances on players like this, and it's paid off. An overall grade of 79.7, run defense grade of 48, 67 pressures. That's a lot. One more than Chase Young, who was just elite at generating pressures last year. The other numbers for Chase Young, not great. And then 45 hurries. And then some of the sack numbers. 10 sacks this past year. He had 21 quarterback hits. He's not a player that's going to jump up for pass breakups or anything. But 10 TFLs, so he made some plays behind the line of scrimmage against the run, even though his run grade wasn't all that good. He did make those TFLs and had those 29 tackles. And this is the path that I'm speaking of, where Bryce Huff this past year rounded into form. He was a UDFA for a reason because he was wiry, a little bit smaller, but has a variety of skills to his game that's allowed him to go from 2 sacks, 3.5 up to 10. It's a little bit of a risk because he has one solid year of production, but again, I'm not sure that he's going to break the bank, and that fits what the Niners could want. Another option here at edge rusher, if you want to go older, more accomplished player, and I'm interested to see what Danielle Hunter's market is going to be if he leaves Minnesota, it is Danielle Hunter, who this past year was one of the best defensive ends in the game. He had 83 tackles. He notched 23 TFLs, 16.5 sacks with 4 forced fumbles. So a big play maker. And he also had those 22 quarterback hits. That's a player, you don't have him longevity-wise long-term, but that's a move if you're trying to go all in to win a Super Bowl in 2024, which obviously fits the Niners' timeline here. Step number 4, got to extend Brandon Aiyuk, and that does have to do with NFL free agency. The Niners, in my opinion, have to figure out what they want to do with Brandon Aiyuk, especially going into the draft. If they think that he's too pricey, they can draft his replacement at the end of April. And they're going to be able to see what the wide receiver market is going into free agency. And it's just best to get this deal done once free agency gets underway. Don't let a stalemate ensue. Don't let bad blood linger like you've done before. And don't make everybody wait until July or August for a contract extension to get done. Just get it done and worry about the rest later. And why Aiyuk should be paid, he's earned it. He's an emerging and ascending player. He's still only 25 years old. I still think he has better football left in him, especially if he gets more targets. The Niners drafted him in 2020 envisioning that by the time the 2023 season came around, let's say, he'd develop into a wide receiver 1. He did. That's why he was a second-team All-Pro. He's such a complete player with his ability to impact the game from goal line to goal line. And he's also so good as a run blocker. And he's really the epitome of what the Niners look for in players. They love player development. They love grooming guys and taking care of their own homegrown players. But they also love guys who don't shy away from physicality, who will pancake you, who will talk some shit, bring some swagger, confidence, and toughness to the table. Aiyuk checks all those boxes. And when I talk about him being an ascending player, just look at how incrementally the numbers have improved, increased, and they've gotten better every single year. To be a rookie during that COVID offseason and to have 748 yards and 5 touchdowns, that's impressive in 12 games. And then the following year it goes up to 826. 2022 surpasses 1,000 yards. And then this past year, just glorious. Top 10 wide receiver in the game, 1,300 plus yards, 75 grabs. And he's been a really good touchdown machine too. And some of his in-depth numbers, sometimes you look at just the overall stat sheet and you look at other wide receivers who might have more production, but some of the analytics here, yards per catch, number 2, yards per target, number 2, Pro Football Focus wide receiver grade, number 2, behind Tyreek Hill. Hill, the cheetah, was fantastic. EPA, expected points added. It's like the war version for football almost, number 2, and then receiving yards, number 7. So in this offense that had all these other players with more than 1,000 all-purpose yards, Christian McCaffrey, he had 2K. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Juwan Jennings in the mix. His targets were down compared to other number 1 wide receivers, yet he's 7th in the league in receiving yards. That's very impressive. And then to round things out, coming in at number 4, San Francisco addresses corner with another player who I don't think is going to break the bank and get a crazy bag to the point where the Niners can't afford him, but they signed Kenny Moore, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, hopefully. L'Jarius Sneed got franchise tagged. So too did Jalen Johnson of the Chicago Bears, who the Niners, there were some rumblings, were said to have some interest in. He's a terrific player. Kenny Moore is kind of that next tier among these free agent corners. And he's a really, really quality corner who isn't going to cost San Francisco so much money where they're not able to afford him. And he's had pretty steady production over the last few years. And San Francisco looks at a player like this and they're like, you know what? Consistent production, consistent availability. This is a player who we think can be a high-end impact type of player. Gave up a completion rate of 79%, 4 touchdowns, 6 pass breakups, 3 picks, quarterback rating of 98.3. Those numbers might not like jump off the screen at you, but he's a team captain, good instincts, maybe a little bit smaller, but he could give you inside-outside versatility, and then you decide what to do with Amador Lenore. But these are pretty steady numbers here for Kenny Moore, and what I like about him, he'll put his hat on the ball carrier. This is a box corner who could play against the run. 8 TFLs, 4 TFLs, 6 TFLs, and 4 in consecutive seasons. And the interception numbers have been really solid, too. In 2021, we're talking about a guy who had 102 tackles. So he can really mix it up and bring that level of toughness to this defense and really give you something at that cornerback position. So that's my perfect free agency plan for San Francisco. We round out with asking you what you think as far as which free agent you want the Niners to sign. Drop me a name or names down below. It's your chance to be the general manager and to run football ops for the Niners. Last call for Super Chats. We're $2 away from 400. Who's going to get us over? Who's going to... $2 away. Here.
A little minor technical difficulty here.
Are we back?
We are back. Way back. What the hell?
What the heck's going on?
Some nonsense. Oh, you see, you were just in. You were just in again.
Are we back?
See, I did. Talk again.
Sometimes it works. Sometimes it...
Yeah, like, literally it's going in and out. It couldn't be going more in and out. Good thing we're done with all our segments. That didn't happen at all during the videos here. Not bad.
Hello?
No, you're not in there.
Hello?
You're like, yeah, you're coming through my microphone, so no, not yet.
That's wild.
It's super wild. $2 away from 400 on the stream. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We appreciate all of the faithful joining us here on this fine Tuesday evening.
Check. Man.
Yeah, no, nothing.
The heck?
And there it is.
You can hear me when I'm bent down. I'm bent down.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm bent down and you can hear me. So I go down here and you can hear me.
Yeah.
I go up here. Nope.
And you're out.
Hello.
What the hell? That
Words
is...
of wisdom. Thank you for the $2 super chat.
Woo!
Ah! Says Luke, Grace, Faith, Michael.
Shouts out to all of them. And to you, words of wisdom.
All right.
I'm going to be down here. We're going to sign off because my microphone is not working.
All right.
So everybody, we'll see you on Thursday. San-Fran-Cisco.
Francisco.
We out.